The first mountain we talked about was Mount Moriah, and I should have said this earlier, but Mount Moriah, we don't exactly know where it is, but most scholars' best guess is that Mount Moriah is the same mountain that Jesus was crucified on, same mountain of the sacrifices of Israel. And so the whole idea of pulling history together where God calls Abraham to sacrifice his son, but provides a sacrifice, and then later the temple is built there, and later Jesus on an outcrop of that mountain is crucified, really does have kind of a balance for world history. Second mountain was Sinai, and you know that's in the desert, Sinai Peninsula. One of the things that I didn't mention earlier about that particular mountain is when Moses went up on the mountain, there was a distance between the people and Moses. Though we need the law always distances us from what we really need, the relationship with God. But this third mountain, this is actually the second mountain of Moses, Mount Nebo. I struggle with Mount Nebo. I'm gonna tell you why. I've been on the top of Mount Nebo. It's actually in Jordan, near Amman. From Mount Nebo, you can look clear down into you're right at the Dead Sea. You look down into the Dead Sea. Across is the Qumran community. Up to the right is Jericho. But you're looking into all of the Promised Land. What's really cool is from the baptismal site, it's pretty amazing, where Jesus was baptized at the Jordan River, that was the site of Israel walking across. And you look up at Mount Nebo. And as I look up at Mount Nebo, every time there's the baptismal site, I think about Moses. He's an old man. First 40 years of his life were like on the run. Second 40 years of his life, he's leading a bunch of rebellious people. What Moses sacrificed was incredible. And on Mount Nebo, God takes him up there and says, Moses, there's the Promised Land. I'm going to let you look at it, but you don't get to go in. And I think how unfair that is. The reason he wasn't allowed to go in, you probably know this. Twice, God asked Moses to pull water from a rock. Speak to the rock. First time he did it right. He spoke to the rock, water came out, people drank. The second time, he took a stick and he hit the rock. God says, I didn't tell you to hit the rock, I told you to speak to the rock. And I'm going, really? God? Like that's the difference between you getting into the Promised Land. For 40 years, you've led obstinate people. It's like, with friends like that, who needs enemies? The more I think about it, I think the reason Nebo bothers me is because I think God owes me something. Like, look at what I've sacrificed to you, God. Can I just be transparent with you guys? I've spent most of my life as a college professor. Hard work, low pay. Obviously, I chose that. I chose to respond to that. And I think I could have done something different. I could have done something that maybe made more money or maybe made a bigger name for myself. And there's times that I feel like, God, you owe me something because of the sacrifices I made. He owes me jack. What I get to do for him is his gift to me, not my gift to him. I'm pretty aware that every time I step on that stage at CCV or any stage, even right here, right now, I don't deserve this. This is pure 100% God's gift to me. He doesn't owe us. Nebo's a reminder. Moses got more than he deserved. He got the opportunity to receive God's commandments and give it to his people. Commandments that changed world history. He got to lead people. Yeah, they were obstinate, but that was God's gift to him. And he flaunted the gift. And the reason that he was debarred from entering into the Promised Land is because a minor infraction, you think it's a minor infraction, I just struck a rock, I took it into my own hand. That minor infraction is actually a subversion that we would call mutiny on a ship. It's the same sin of Eve in the Garden of Eden, and it's the same sin of you and me. Either we are going to be his people and fully follow and let God be God, or we're going to send the entire kingdom of God down a very dark and evil path. The first mountain, I think of the mountain of Abraham, it's a test of faith. The second mountain, the Mount Sinai, is a test of obedience. The third mountain, Mount Nebo, is a test of lordship. And I would just challenge all of us. What God has given to you in your profession is just as much of a gift as what he's given me in mine. I hope I've been obedient to God, and I hope I've done it his way. I know I've not done it perfectly, but I have no reason to be envious of anybody, because everything I've received is a gift.